Hey guys, Rob Vest. Welcome to the Rebuild and Rise podcast. I'll give a quick brief history and then kind of outline what the goal is today of this first one. I'm um I'm a big fan of Tony Robbins stuff. I don't know if you guys have read him or not, if you're familiar with him. Most people have heard of him, but I think he has a quote, and I probably should have looked it up before I muddle over it. But it's something to the effect of that someone's success in life can be determined by the quality of questions they're willing to ask themselves. I read that years ago, and it stuck with me, and I kind of like scoured the internet and kind of compiled this file of 30 questions that if you ask yourself them, you respond to them, that they'll lead you to making really good, successful decisions. And so what I did was I put together the first 10 of them, which is kind of like the idea behind designing your personal success manifesto, if you will. And so what I want to do is I'm going to kind of talk to you guys quickly about it. I'm going to introduce the 10 questions, and I just want you to use them as a way uh, to maybe guide some decisions that you make or dig deep in. Now, if you've fair warning, if you've never taken a mindset course, if you've never dug inside, your thought patterns or challenges, maybe your limiting beliefs before, this might be kind of weird for you. So I'm going to encourage you to take the 10 questions at face value, write them down, spend a little bit of time actually answer them. They may help direct you, right? Now, like I said before, these are foundational questions. They're not super casual. They're kind of questions that hopefully will define your maybe your direction, maybe tap in a little bit of your discipline and what you're after in life, right? Now, let's just move right into it. I'm gonna quit goofing off and talk, right? Number one is one of my favorites. What does success genuinely mean to you? I really believe that you cannot chase and pursue and even acquire something that you haven't defined yet. Too many of us are grinding for vague goals that were kind of never clearly outlined, right? And it's important, I think, that we know it too, and we leave room when we're trying to define what success is for ourselves personally, that it's not going to be a one size fit all. How you think about being successful versus how my dad thinks about it versus how I think about it are probably completely different, right? For some people, it might mean financial freedom. It could mean looking like a fitness model, and it could mean just hanging out with your kids every night at dinner, right? Whatever that is, I want you to take a little bit of time right now. I want you to articulate it, write it down in a notebook. That way, you're going to really clearly define where you're at. And it's going to lead very, very funny. This first question is going to literally tie right into the second one. So now, if we've defined what success is, if you've made it real, I'm going to ask you this question. Number two is, are these ambitions truly yours or were they borrowed from someone else, right? Now, here's the chance for you to dig in and find out maybe that you're going to get a little raw with yourself, right? Am I grinding for something that I even care about, right? Or are we chasing the expectations of my parents or society or some dude you follow on Instagram, right? If your ambition doesn't ignite a fire inside of you, you're going to burn out eventually, right? So what I need you to do with this question really is sort of about reconnecting with your purpose, right? We're going to try to answer this correctly and realign our ambition with what our true identity is. Yeah. All right, now number three, how do you prioritize your health and wellness? I could talk about number three for 4 hours and 55 minutes probably. If you're going to build your personal empire, it's going to mean nothing if your body is wrecked, right? You cannot lead if you are constantly exhausted. You cannot create incredible things if your mind is foggy. You need to prioritize your body as if it were your most valuable asset. Because let me tell you what, it is your most valuable asset. Your performance in all areas of life are going to hinge on how good a shape you're in, on how healthy you are. Your mind is, this is a controversial point, but if your body is not healthy, your mind is not healthy, even if you think it is, right? It's all together. It's all part of the same operating system. So performance in all areas of your life, they're going to hinge on how well you eat. It's going to hinge on how well you sleep, how well you move, and how well you allow yourself to recover. Now, number four, this touches on a little bit. I have a quote in the gym here up that says, what is your goal? When do you want it by? And what are you willing to give up to attain it, right? And that's a big thing anytime you set a goal that okay, here's my goal and I want to get it done in 6 months, but are you willing to give up X, Y, Z to make sure you attain that? Because you can't go from where you are to your goal without having without making sacrifices. So this directly relates to number four, which is what sacrifices are you willing to make And then also which things are non-negotiable, right? You can have a balance of those things because you need to understand that success does indeed require sacrifice, but you should also put a limit on some things. Like, I'm not willing to get financially successful and rich and sacrifice the relationship with my wife to do it, right? That's a non-negotiable. Like, I'm going to communicate with Bonnie every day. We're going to have time together. I'm not going to grind uh and give her up, if that makes sense. So I think for number four, what sacrifices are you willing to make and which ones are non-negotiable? You need to understand that you have to have clarity on your boundaries and what are you willing to give up and what will you not compromise on, right? That's a big deal. Now, number five, how do you handle failures, setbacks, and rejections? You're going to have them. You're going to fail. You're going to get pushed back. You're going to kick down. You're going to get rejected. And your resilience level is going to determine what your ceiling is, right? I think it's important that we understand that setbacks are not a sign to stop. What is that Ryan Holiday quote? Obstacle is the way, right? They're signals for you to adapt. And you need to find out, do you fall apart when things go sideways? Do you, or I should say, I guess, do you analyze? Do you adjust? Do you get around it, right? And get back in the ring? Because the idea is you're going to face adversity. And when you do face it, I need you to lean in, right? Extract the lesson from it, find silver lining, reframe the story so it's not holding you back and you can use it as fuel to get onto your next move, right? So that's five. How do you handle failures and setbacks and whatnot? Now, number six, we're getting there. We're getting there. Who is in your corner? This is important. Do you have someone that you can talk to? Do you have a mentor? Do you have advisors? Do you have a built-in support system? Is it your wife? Is it your oldest child? Is it your work buddies? You don't need a huge crowd of people, but you probably need a corner, right? You need a trusted circle that you can run stories off of, that you can talk to about being frustrated. People who will check your blind spots, who challenge your excuses, and remind you who you are when you need it, right? Now, it could be a mentor, it can be a coach that you pay to speak to once a week, it could be your brother, but something. You need to make sure that you're not trying to go at this alone because nothing is ever built by itself. Nothing, right? I firmly believe you're not meant to do things like this alone, right? That's number six. Now, number seven, big deal here. How often do you step out of your comfort zone? We've heard it all before. Growth doesn't happen in comfort, right? If your routine has been on consistent autopilot, you're probably stagnating, guys. The greatest gains, physically, mentally, emotionally even, come when you're stretching past that comfortable position, getting further to what you even thought maybe was possible, right? I need you to do your best to make discomfort your training ground because that's where your real transformation is going to happen. I can promise that. All right, number eight, what are your non-negotiable daily rituals or habits? I like this saying, I've written it before, but rituals create rhythm, rhythm creates momentum, and momentum is what's going to create results, right? If your days feel chaotic or reactive, chances are that you've probably let consistent habits slide, or you're in reactionary mode instead of acting on intention, right? So what I want you to do is anchor your mornings, and you're going to guard your evenings. And then in theory, we build rituals that are going to serve whatever your mission is, whether it's a journaling in the morning or a mobility thing, or if you're into cold plunges, prayers in the evening, whatever it is, we need to anchor these things. We need to use them to be part of our success formula, right? So let's have at what are non-negotiable daily rituals. When I coach one-on-one clients through my reclamation project, we come up with a 15-minute morning and a 10 to 15 minute evening things. It helps them anchor their day and get ready for the next day. Now, number nine, this is a big deal. Big deal, big deal, big deal. You're gonna get stressed. You're gonna be forced with hard times. And it's important that you understand how you personally manage it and how to mitigate it, right? I said a second ago, stress is inevitable. What is optional is mismanaging that stress, right? You can handle it poorly, or you can expect it and learn how to handle it correctly, right? I said, you can ignore it until it's like the damn engine light in your car. You can ignore it until it breaks you, right? Or you can build in practices that help you channel it. Now, I'm not sure what that could be for you. It might be breath work, it might be walking, it might be lifting weights, it could be journaling, but you need an outlet. You need something to do to funnel that stress into something that is I don't know, that is advantageous to you rather than hurt you. Because the more responsibility you take on, the more essential it's going to be for you to learn how to handle that stress and find ways to find ways to reset your nervous system, right, guys? All right, now, number 10, We talked about fitness, we talked about movement, we talked about any number of different things, but I want you to think about how you ensure that you're nourishing your body for peak performance. Um, Food is not only fuel for you, but it also determines, well, think about it this way, the cleaner that you eat, the clearer you think, the better you move, and the easier it is to lead, to be in charge, to take care of whatever things you may have to take care of. Now, you don't have to be perfect, but we want to guide you to become, when it comes to food, is intentional. So if you can dial in your nutrition, right, own all your inputs, then your physical energy is going to reflect the quality of your choices. That's a fact, right? So those are the 10 questions. I hope I didn't keep you guys too long. I'm running through time here as I see it. But and I want you to think of them, don't think of them just like prompts. I want you to use them as checkpoints. You can use them to recalibrate, to course correct, to reignite your fire. So this week, pick one that maybe hit home the most, sit with it a bit. If you're one person, if you're someone that journals, journal, but if you want to just drive and think about things, whatever it is, but try to make one small shift based on your answer, because success really isn't about all or nothing. It's not about these big, huge, grand gestures. What it's more about is repeated alignment with your goals, doing the things every single day consistently that help you achieve it, right? So if this hits with you today, share it with a brother, subscribe to this podcast, leave a review, and help me build this mission, right? So until next time, I want you guys to keep rebuilding, keep rising. This is Rob Vest, and I want your comeback to story. I want your comeback story to just be getting started, right? Let's kick ass and take names, guys. Take care.